a pressure vessel, right? So the Young's modulus of the pressure vessel is given, which is 207 gigapascal, and Poisson's ratio is given. The pressure which is inside that particular pressure vessel is 10,000 pascal. So it is shown here. They are asking you to identify what is the principal stresses on deflection for the particular problem. They asked you to consider this as a plane strain condition, right? So when they consider as a plane strain condition, which means the thickness. Whenever you go for plane strain, the thickness should be very large, right? So I am going to consider the side view. So when you look at the side view, you can able to see this circle, two circles. So this circle thickness is around 5,000 meter. So everything is in meter here, right? So it is around 5,000 meter. So which is very large, right? So you can consider this as a plane strain problem. Considering only these two circles and solving the problem, we can solve it by using plane strain condition, right? Okay, so first we will go for analytical calculation, and then we will go for this answers, right? So first, let us consider this problem. So you have a diameter of 500 meter and 540 meter, so which is the overall thickness. So you know that there are two types of cylinders. One is a thin cylinder and one is a thick cylinder. Whenever you go for a thin cylinder, so your thickness should be less than 1/20th of the internal diameter. So that is the condition. So let me identify. My internal diameter is 500. So I am dividing 500 by 20. I am getting 25. So whereas when I look after the thickness, so radius is 270 and 250. My thickness is only 20 mm. So thickness is 20, which is less than 25, which means this problem comes under thin cylinder condition. Okay. So for thin cylinder, we can identify two types of stresses. We will have two stresses. One we call it as a circumferential stress or a hoop stress. Other one is a longitudinal stress. Right? The formula for hoop stress is sigma 1, which is equal to PD by 2T. Whereas for longitudinal, it is PD by 4T. Right? This is the formula. I am applying it. You know what is the pressure? Pressure is 10,000. I am applying that. So diameter is 500 meter divided by 2 into thickness is 20 meter. Substituting it, I am getting something in Newton per meter square. I am getting 125,000 Newton per meter square. Right? So this divided by 2 will give you longitudinal stress. Again, I am dividing, you will get 62500. This is my overall longitudinal stress. Now let us identify principal stress. The formula for principal stress is sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus root of sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 the whole square plus tau square. I don't have shear stresses here, so you can neglect it. Substituting all these values, you will get maximum principal stress as 12500 and minimum is 62500. So same as like what you got here. Since we don't have shear stress, the formula, whenever you apply this, you will get the same value, right? So this is the overall stress developed on the particular cylinder. Next, expansion. Let us look after the expansion. To identify what is the circumferential expansion, you have the formula here, del D by D. So del D by D is circumferential strain, is equal to PD by 4TE into 2 minus mu, right? So this is the formula. So we apply this formula, we will identify, right? We apply and we will identify what will be the overall diameter. So just applying it, I am getting overall strain as 5.223 into 10 power minus 7, and multiplying with this diameter, we will get around 2.611 into 10 power minus 4 meter, or 0.261 into 10 power minus 3 meter, right? Or I can write it in mm. So 0.2617 mm, right? This will be the overall deflection caused for the particular problem, right? This is just an analytical calculation for this particular problem. Now we will go for answers. Okay, we will solve the same answers. Let us find out whether we are getting this approximately, right? You won't get the right answer. There may be some approximation, right? Let us go for answers now. The first step is I have to go for file, change directory. It's okay. First is clear and start new. Do not read file. Click OK. file, change directory. You change the directory according where you want to save the file. So I use go for Ansys Lab and I'll save it here. Right. Next, file, job name. You can change the job name. This is plain strain problem. It has strain. This for my reference. Next, file, title. You can change the title. So this analysis for as of pressure vessel plain strain condition. So you can write it whatever you want, right? So this I entered it. Okay. So these are the normal things we will be doing. Next step is you go for preferences, click preferences, choose structural, then click. So this is only to identify. So just to shortlist the number of toolbars which is opening. Next, preprocessor, element type, add. So go for add. So here you have something called a solid. So now we are dealing with quad noded elements. So 2-dimensional elements. So you go for solid. So this is isoparametric element, right? Four node. So you have 4 nodes at 4 corners, right? So that is an isoparametric element. I'll choose this. So quad 182, right? Click OK. So after I choose this, the first step what you have to do is you have to go for option, right? Because when you go for this plain 2-dimensional problem, you should categorize it. So what type of problem it is? It is a plane stress problem, plane strain problem, or axisymmetric problem. Because we can categorize in these 3 types. What we are going to solve now is plane strain problem. Go to options. Here element behavior is plane stress. You change it to plane strain. This is very, very important. If you're not changing this, then your B matrix, everything will be different. So you won't get a right answer. Okay. So you change it to plane strain. Then click OK. Right? And then push. So this problem, whenever you go for a plane strain condition, you don't need to give the thickness. So there's no necessary for giving thickness. Right? So you can directly go for modeling. So the real constant sections, it is only applicable for 1-dimensional elements, not for 2-dimensional elements. Because in 2D we are going to draw the geometry, right? So that's why we don't need for these things. We directly go for material property. Go to material models, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic. So for my problem, if you're able to see, my E is 207 gigapascal and my mu is 0.27. Mu is important here, right? It is not like 1D. 1D ki thevailla, but here you should apply mu value also, right? So if it is 0, then it will change. You won't get lateral strains. Okay. So I am solving in Newton and meter, right? So I will substitute it in Newton and meter. So gigapascal. Pascal is Newton per meter square. Giga is 10 power 9. So I can substitute it like that. So that means this is 207 E9 gigapascal, right? And my Poisson is 0.27. Okay. This substitute it. Click OK. Right? Now you can close this. Right? So I went to material models. This isotropic. I enter this value 207 gigapascal. So I will change it automatically, right? So it has taken us 2.07 E11, right? And Poisson ratio. I applied that, right? So this part is over. The next step is go for modeling, right? Then we go for modeling this particular geometry, right? Look at the geometry. You have a full circle. In analysis, you can cut short it, so you can reduce the size accordingly. So you don't need to go for the full circle. Instead, I'm going to consider only quarter circles, right? Which means I am going to concentrate only on this part. So only this part, right? So this part I can I can arrange it accordingly, right? We have the plot results. You can change it accordingly, right? So I'll concentrate only on this quarter circle to draw this particular model, right? So no need to go for full circle, right? Because you should apply some boundary conditions. There is no boundary conditions here. If you consider as a full circle, you can't apply any boundary conditions, right? So you can't say the outer layer is fixed, right? So when I fix my outer layer, the expansion will be only inside that is a wrong type of approach, right? So in order to apply boundary condition, I'm going to split this into a part so that I can apply the conditions along these edges. So I can apply here and I can apply here, right? So for that purpose, I'm going to consider it. Okay, let me go here. Then we create. So directly, since it's a regular circle, you no need to worry about drawing different types of areas. You have a circle, directly we go for area. No need for key points, right? So if it is irregular shape, you can go for key points. Create a key point, then create a line, then you can create the area, right? So here, since it's a circle, I can go directly for areas. Right? Areas now I have something called a circle. Let me go choose circle here. Yeah, solid circle. It is fully solid. Annulus is hollow circle, right? Annulus is hollow circle. This is full hollow circle. So annulus means full hollow circles. Partial annulus is, you can mention it. What will be the it is like a quarter circle, whatever, semicircle. If you want to draw something like that, I can go for partial annulus, right? Let me choose partial annulus. Click this. It is asking what is your coordinate point. So x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 0, radius 1. First radius, when you look here, the problem, the radius is 250, the second is 270, right? I'm going to choose that. So radius for this is 250. Theta, I'm going to start from 0. It is at 0 degree, right? Next, radius 2 is 270. Theta 2 is from 0 degree, I am going to moderate for 90 degree. So this is 90. Right? When I put 180, you will get a semicircle. When I put 90, you will get quarter circle. Right? That is the purpose. Okay. So I mentioned this two values, which is your coordinate 0 and 0. The radius I mentioned as 250. Theta I mentioned as 0. Theta 1, starting theta is 0. Ending theta is 90. Radius 2 is 270. After you mentioned all these values, click OK. So you can able to see. So the first one is 250, second is 270, and it starts from 0 and it goes up to 90 degree. Right? This is your model. Next is after I complete this model, I'm going to mesh this. Okay. So let me save here. So still now whatever I done is right. Let me save here. We go for meshing. Right. So you have no need to worry about what is the distance of mesh and other things. You have mesh tool. Go to here. Click this. Get it. Go for smart size. Turn on your smart size. Bring this slider nearer to 1 or 2. Let me choose 1. Right? So 1 means you will get very, very fine mesh. Coarse is, when you keep your slider here, it will be very, very coarse. Right? So always you go for a very, very lower value. Fine mesh. Choose this smart size and fine. Thick mesh. Select your entire area and then click OK. So you can able to see. So it has meshed properly. So you can able to see how it has meshed. See. So accurately it has meshed. So when you go for coarse, you won't get something like this. So it will be somewhat irregular shape. Okay. Right. So I meshed this component now. Right. What I have done, I have gone here. Let's turn on the smart size, dragged this to one mesh, and then I selected the area and I completed. Okay. No need to worry about what is the thickness and other things, what is the mesh size and other things and all. Right. Directly you can mesh this. After this, let me close this. So my preprocessor is over now. Let me go for solution now. So applying the boundary conditions. Right? Let me go for define loads, apply structural displacement. So here I can't say that this is fixed or this is fixed, right? You have a continuous circle here, so but I consider only a part of it, right? So I should go for boundary condition, symmetry boundary condition, because it is symmetrical along that path also, right? Go to symmetrical boundary condition, select symmetry bound BC, go to lines, on lines, select this line and this line. So these are the two lines which is to be continued, right? I select this two line and then click OK, right? So what we will consider is, it will consider this as boundary conditions along the particular path, and of course it is not a fully one, right? So that is why it is, we are making this. Okay. So displacement, symmetric boundary condition I applied on these lines, right? This is over. Next thing is pressure, right? And you look after my pressure is 10,000 Pascal, right? Then we go for pressure on lines. Select this line, internal line, sorry. Select this internal line, okay? So make sure, so sometimes in the selection so you can able to see here. So right click pannீங்கன்னா, you can deselect it. So whatever I want, I can select it accordingly. Right? Sorry, only I want this region. Right, you can able to see. So make sure your two lines here. I don't know. Okay, I will click cancel. I will start again. See, your only count is 1, right? Line number is 3. Okay. If you want to look what is the type of line number, you can also go to plot controls, numbering. You can choose line numbers on. You can able to see here. So again, I have to go for plot lines. This is my line number 3, which is going to select. So pressure on lines, select this line. So line number is 3, count is 1. Okay, you select this, click OK. It is asking what is the pressure value. It is 10,000 Newton per meter square. Right, apply 10,000. I think it is 10,000. Yeah, 10,000 Pascal. Apply 10,000 and then click OK. So now you apply the pressure also. Right? So both the conditions are given. So first given symmetrical boundary conditions. After that I applied a pressure. That's it. Okay. Now you go for solve. Current load step. Yeah, we'll get solution. It's done. It close. And we close this also. Right? So my solution is also over. Let me go for post processor. Go to post processor. First, once you enter here, you go to read results, last set, right? Because I don't know, ANSYS 20, sometimes it is missing some stress plots. So I have to click it again. So that's why I go here, read results, last set. Then go to plot results, contour plots, nodal solution. Right. Here you go to DOF, degrees of freedom. view displacement. Your deformed shape already, I'll change it to deformed shape and edge. Right? This is how it has expanded. So the value for expansion is 0.15 into 10 power minus 3. What we achieved is, when we calculate it, we are getting 0.26 somewhat into 10 power minus 3. Right? Here, what we get is 0.15. So anyway, so it is approximation. I can't get anything so more accurate. Right? So this is my plot. Okay, this one you have to take it as a printout. So go to plot controls, type meta file, invert black or white, save it wherever you want. Okay, so this is my first step. Next, again nodal solution. Stress. Go to 1 is stress. Choose this. Click OK. So when I get what are the stresses? What is the minimum stress and what is the maximum stress? SMX indicates maximum stress. SMN indicates your minimum stress. The maximum stress is 125,166. What we achieved is 125,000. It is approximately, and the other one is 625,000 minimum. Here we get 107954. Maybe it may be different because there may have some shear also. We don't know which is happening. Right? So this is your stress developed in your pressure vessel. Right? And this is what another plot which you have to take. So go to plot controls again, write meta file. Again, invert black and white. You can also go to plot controls, style. We have something called a symmetry expansion. Go here. You have periodic cyclic symmetry. Choose this. Right by fourth diagonal, because we are consider only 1/4 of it. So you choose the first one and then click OK. I'll get for a full circle. Right. So this is my overall pressure vessel and how it deforms. Okay. So you can do that one. Plot controls, style, symmetry expansion. Right. So I'll choose this periodic cyclic symmetry. Right. 1/4. Yeah. The one so it won't affect the particular problem. It is just showing it accordingly. Sometimes, if I go for symmetry, so axis symmetry, so 3/4 போடுறேன் இப்படி ஆயிடும் பாருங்க இது ஸ்பியர் ஆயிடுச்சு it has converted to sphere. So it doesn't affect the part, only for our convenience we can choose this, that's it. Okay, so no expansion. Sorry. Right? Just for convenience we do that. Okay, now we can also plot some graph here. So I want to know, so let me zoom here. Right? Zoom here. This area. Right? So I want to know what is the stress developed along this path. Right? So starting from this point to this point, I want to know. I want to plot it as a graph. In that case, what to do then? Right? So we will do that accordingly. So for that, I have to create a path. Right? So you have something called as path operations. Right? In general course process, you have something called as path operation. Go to path operations. Click here. Define a path. Click here. Right? It is asking you how you are going to define a path. Right? By selecting a node or by selecting your work plane. So it has different concepts. So the best option is you can go for location. For in this case, my best option is location, because so I know what is the location from here to here. Right? So I know the data, so I go here. go for my location, right? So it is asking 2 points, right? Number of points I'm going to give for a path is 2 points. In that 2 points, it is taking 20 readings along that path, right? So if you want, you can change this, right? So whatever data sets you want, you can change this. So let me name this path as path 1. We call as path 1, P, right? This is for my convenience. It does 2 points, right? I have to enter 2 points now, right? Click OK. It is asking the first point, point number 1. It is 0, 0, 0. Sorry, it is not 0. It exists, I think, 250, right? So I think this location is 250, right? So 250, 0, 0, right? This is my first location, right? We click OK. Now it is asking second point location, maybe Q2. Now it is 270, right? The outer diameter, okay? 0, 0, right? So when we apply this, click OK. It is asking third point. You can't apply third point. Even if you apply it, it will say error. So let me give cancel, right? So number of points specified is over, right? So you can check what is your path status. You can click here, define the path. You have one path which is having 2 points, right? Number of sources 30 and divisions also 20. You can check it here. What is your path status, right? Okay. Now I created a path here. Now I'm going to import the data for that particular path, right? So you have something called as map onto path. So go here, click this. Right? If I want deformation, I will type it as deform here. This is for my reference, right? Deform. So DOF, I want overall deformation, right? Let me select this. Now it has mapped. It has taken the deformation value, right? Similarly, I'm going to include 2 more, 2 or 3 more. Let me go for stress. Name this as stress XX. Yes, XX. Okay, it is stress in X direction. Okay, so I will call this. Let me click. Okay, again I will choose stress in Y direction. Okay, and also I will click one mesh stress. Yes, I go here. You have one mesh also. So like this. Now, if I see, I have mapped around 4 data. One is deformation, then what is stress in X direction, what is stress in Y direction, and what is the equivalent stress. So these are the things which is mapped on your path, right? Now you go for plot path item on graph, click on graph. So which one you want? Right, you can select. Deform is different. Is different because your deformation is in 10 power minus 3, whereas your stress is in different value. You can't select these two. A graph I'll show you. So when I click deform, click OK. So this is my deformation, right? At 0 to 20, right? What is the deformation which is formed along the path? Right? In the graph, I can't choose this deformation and the stress. I choose value very, very discerned because it is in 10 power minus 3. You won't get it properly, right? So that's why. So whereas I can go for stress in X, stress in Y, one misses. Go here, so you can able to see what is the stress in developed in X direction, stress developed in Y direction, and what is your one misses. So this was just a reference. You no need to plot this in your record, but how to take it, that is why I am showing it. Right? Any doubt on this?